Hello and welcome to this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Views with Hughes. That's Hughes. You can also check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. Please rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. And you can also comment over on Libsyn. With all that being said, thank you for downloading this episode, and I hope you enjoy the show. So we had some technology issues the first part of this podcast. So what you're hearing is actually going to be the second half of the podcast. The first part is gone forever. Was going to try to re-record it, but who cares? We'll just move on from here. And we'll see you at Galaxy's Edge in a few days. Oh, I hate technology. All right, moving on to something more interesting to me anyway. Galaxy's Edge. So I've been debating all day and like the last few days of how I'm going to tackle this thing because, the thing I'm most excited about isn't even going to be opening on opening day. So that kind of threw a wrench into my plans. Before today, if everything would still go into planning and Rise of the Resistance was going to open with Galaxy's Edge, I would be more than happy to wait all 4 of my hours in line for Rise of the Resistance. However, it's not going to happen because it's not open.
That's where everybody would rush to.
You think everyone would go over there?
A screen ride, no offense to Falcon, but like a screen versus an actual ride.
Yeah. But don't you think some people that just love the Millennium Falcon and that stuff so much, they would kind of rush over there? Just devil's advocate.
I don't know. I feel like it's more about seeing the actual Falcon in person.
Think so?
Yeah.
I'm going to cry. I know I am.
I thought that was pretty cool. I learned recently, this is probably old news, but I learned recently that the queue goes around and gives you different views of the Falcon as you're going through the queue, which is really, really cool.
That was, I think they said that when that first wave of people went in.
Yeah.
The first wave of people went in for those previews, but they couldn't get to go all the way through everything and see it all. I'm still a little nervous about how they're going to make it feel like you go onto the Falcon. I know that's, I keep yelling about this, but the whole.
It's so silly.
But why is it silly though? You can't just appear on a ship.
Because I don't think it's feasible.
It definitely could be feasible. All you'd have to do is walk in. If that's what
you're most upset about, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. If you're like,
why?
Star Wars Galaxy's Edge was awesome, except I didn't feel like I was walking on a Falcon.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. It's not like it's not something that you see them do. You see them walk on the Falcon on every movie, pretty much.
I'm sure
walk up that ramp.
There's going to be some way for them to trick you into it.
The only way I could see is if, they're not
going to half-ass this.
I don't know. I feel like it's just going to be kind of jarring. But that's also because I'm just the whole point of this land, though, is you're immersed into this story and you're living your Star Wars story, right?
To be fair,
how do I just show up in the cockpit of the Falcon?
None of these reviews or videos we've watched have said I felt like I was walking on the Falcon.
That's true. I don't know. I just feel like it's a missed opportunity. The ramp's lowered at the Falcon.
Is it?
I mean, it's what it showed in the concept art. It might not be.
I feel like they might have run into... Who did we hear from? They ran into ADA issues with that they couldn't...
I think I said that to you. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
You were originally supposed to go through part of it or something.
You're supposed to go up the ramp and then it was connected to the show building and you kind of go back in and kind of they would.
But there's so many things they have to take into account.
Yeah, I mean, again, like you said, if that's the thing I come back from and I'm like that was the worst thing, we're probably in pretty good shape.
Exactly. I'd rather have some poor Make-A-Wish child be able to go on the ride.
Oh, absolutely.
Because they don't feel like they're boarding the Falcon.
No, absolutely. But I'm just saying as part of the storytelling. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I don't want kids in wheelchairs not be able to ride the ride. But I just kind of want that extra level of detail added. But then I was we're gonna get it. Oh well. So I think what I'm gonna do first, because we've been hearing there's been 2-hour waits over at Oga's Cantina,
which I don't understand with it being mixed drinks. You gotta ring it up, but I mean, come on, you're literally pouring it out of a little spout, as somebody said. It's some weird looking spigot that looks Star Warsy, of course. But you're not mixing these drinks by hand. What is taking so long?
I don't know. That many people flooding that small little place? I mean, we don't even know how big it is. It doesn't look very big.
They did say there's seating areas in there, which makes me happy.
By the way, if you want to see the layout right now of Galaxy's Edge, it's actually on the Disneyland app. You can actually see the full layout of the land, which I was doing yesterday, and it looks really, really cool. Oga's Cantina does look small. This place is just going to be a nightmare. It's going to be so freaking insanely busy that it's just going to be hard to do anything, really.
And opening in August in Florida.
4 hours is just not enough time either. It should have been 6 hours.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't have enough windows for people to get in.
Not my problem. How bad do you want to be there?
That's not fair, because then maybe you wouldn't have gotten a window, and then you would have been like, it should have been shorter.
That's
so
fair.
you get more people.
That is fair. But guess what? I'm sitting on this side of it now.
Right.
So I'm going to act like I'm better than everyone.
Even Ryan Johnson got 4 hours. So.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. Yeah. Ryan Johnson, the director of one of the highest grossing films of all time.
Oh, who knows if they were strict on that with him? But
I'm sure they were. He said it was amazing. One thing I don't think I'm going to do is the blue and green milk. I kind of want to, but I've had them both.
But we've had it at Galactic Nights.
And they said it was the same thing. Like we talked to
it's literally just a bigger serving.
Who did I talk to about it? And they said that this was like a test for Galactic. Oh, it was from Baseline. I know his name, but I'm not saying it.
Oh yeah, our friend bartender there.
He said that it was all that food
familiar.
Was a yes. He said all that food was a test for what was going to be eventually in Galaxy's Edge, and some of it made it over.
Which we did see some of it.
Yep, some of it made over.
Your duck fries did not, but
that's not surprising.
That was like your favorite thing at all of the Galactic Nights.
So good. God, those were good.
Or those sliders.
I definitely want to do the Falcon, but if I don't do it, I'm not going to be that upset. I know that sounds insane to go to a theme park and not ride the main new ride and be cool with it, but I would be okay with it, I think.
Yep.
It also doesn't hurt that we live 2 miles away from Hollywood
I'd be more
Studios.
concerned with seeing the land versus, okay, I got to see one queue and go on a ride, but I didn't see anything else.
Yeah.
But that's me.
Yeah, I feel like I just want to be immersed in this. I want to go check out the bazaar. I'm very curious to see how many people get in and out of this thing. Like, that's going to be pretty cool to see how that works.
I would go in straight beeline for Oga's, get my drink, and then go grab some food from Ronto Roasters. Go sit in there, enjoy that, eat, and then maybe grab a Coke at the wagon and go walk through the bazaar. And then if you have time to hop in line at the end for Falcon, do it then. But I wouldn't. Yeah. That would probably be my bottom.
Which is insane,
but
right?
I'm a girl. I'm a shopper. I want to see things I can buy. And I like... I don't know.
I forgot about Ronto's Roasters. That's the one with the pod racing engine hanging from the ceiling, which I haven't heard any more about that other than the model.
I've seen food pictures.
You've seen food pictures? Have you seen pictures of the pod racing engine hanging? Because there's one shot in one of the promo things that shows a pod racing engine, but it's not from the ceiling.
There's a ban on photos right now. Cast members can't be taking photos.
But this was a Disney released thing.
No, I haven't seen
I'll show it to you after we get done with this.
They're trying to keep some surprises.
For sure. That one's going to be a cool one, I think.
On the 31st, social media is going to blow up with Galaxy's Edge.
Yep.
There's going to be picture. Like, oh.
Actually, the day before will be because...
rumor is soft opening the 30th because media, or the formal event is the 29th.
29th. And I know some people who are going to that. And me and this person... talked about it in great detail, and the embargo lifts at 6 p.m. that night. I-4. I don't know. Could you hear that in the headphones?
No.
Oh, it was a very loud car horn. We live right by I-4, so it was that was super nice.
Welcome to Orlando.
So 6 o'clock on the 29th is when you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff. I know that this person is going to have things loaded, and
finally some shots of Batu at night.
I can't wait to see it. I'm gonna be my time is out at 8.
You might not see it.
I might not see it at night, but I'm very curious. I wonder how strict they're going to be on clearing people out.
Well, there's like a gap between each time frame for a reason to clear people out.
There's a gap between each time frame.
Like I've noticed every bracelet has like a different color strip on it, a different planet, and the time clearly stamped.
Man,
they're going to be strict.
Do you think it's a good idea to be that strict?
Absolutely. Their idea is to get as many people as they can to get in it and enjoy that land.
So they come back.
Yes.
To get like a little, like a drug dealer. The first hit's free. Like you go in, you got 4 hours. Come back soon. Come back after the 23rd.
I know it's not going to because we're a bunch of international heathens that visit Walt Disney World versus Disneyland.
Jesus.
But the characters are walking around at Disneyland like. People have said Rey, Kylo Ren, Chewie, they're all walking around free, but that's normal at Disneyland because it's such a locals park, whereas here you have to queue up to meet anybody and everybody. I mean, even people in Town Square. Do you think they'll have that here?
No.
Do you think it's because Launch Bay is still a thing?
Launch Bay is a thing at Disneyland,
eventually
too.
Those like meet and greets kind of...
No, that's going to stay.
You have to have a place to go for people who can't get into Galaxy's Edge that want to do Star Wars stuff who have not been to Hollywood studios before.
That would be so cool to see the characters in their planet.
I don't know. It could be. I mean, it could be one of those things where it's like that's part of the theming. It could. I don't know. Could not be. If it were you and you were going to Galaxy's Edge opening day, what would be the first thing you would go do?
I told you my plan. I would go to Oga's, get a drink, go get my food either at Docking Bay 7 or Ronto's, whoever has that like sausage with the something ranch and slaw and
That's Ronto's
in the
Roasters.
pita wrap. I want to say it's Docking Bay. I don't know.
That's
Which
Ronto's
one?
Roasters.
Whichever one. I would get that, go sit in there and eat, kind of take everything in, and then I would go grab a Coke from one of the stands outside and go shop.
Has anybody said where those Cokes are in the land?
No.
Are they the Ska Kettles popcorn cart thing?
Nobody has said a dang thing about the popcorn cart.
Of course not.
Which
That's going to be a thing for opening day when there's not a lot to
just
do.
like meh, popcorn. Okay, yay.
People like popcorn. My dad
But
would.
this
My dad would
is
try.
like blueberry. Blah, blah.
Yeah. People are going to like it. I can promise you. It could be on not open too. It could be one of those things.
Yeah, I want to see the marketplace.
Yeah, the bazaar is a thing
Yes.
I'm very
It looked
curious about.
Stunning in that picture with Iger. When
I'm
he
curious
was
about the
there.
queue too. I'm curious about the queue for Falcon.
Do you think you can? We kind of joked about this the other night, but since you're going to be there a little earlier in the day at one point, do you think you can send all your packages to the front of the park, or are they going to say that's a different planet? Like,
Oh my God!
like when we go to the park for the full day, we send everything in the front,
They
so we don't have to carry
might tell
it.
you, sorry, bro, carry it.
But like, if you buy this big, massive, whatever you may buy, you got to carry that around with you now.
I don't know. The thing I'm very curious about merchandise-wise is how people get these lightsabers back home. Like
Yeah, 'cause
Disneyland's
you're not allowed to
probably.
bring those really on a plane anymore.
I don't think you can, right?
It resembles a weapon.
Right. I remember I heard a horror story from somebody who was at Celebration that they bought a
Can't even bring
lightsaber
a dang
hilt.
snow globe.
Yeah. I don't know, but can you bring the toilet sabers from their home?
Those collapse though.
No, they don't. Not like the
Oh,
ones.
not like the ones. Some of the ones we have.
Yeah.
87,000 lightsabers here.
We only have 30.
Okay.
Do you think a $200 lightsaber is foolish? We haven't talked about this at all on the podcast yet. Do you think this is a dumb thing?
I will 100% line up for a $99 build your own droid with us and the little ones, and we can create a droid as a family that we can then spend $20 on a backpack to put it in so we could see out in Galaxy's Edge. But it's something we can bring with us every time, and it's interactive. Whereas,
So it's a lightsaber.
Well, the lightsabers, I was hoping they would be something, not to go back to Universal, but I was hoping they'd be a little more interactive, like they talked like they would be.
Why would a lightsaber talk?
Like they talked like they would be at the panel.
Oh,
Are you really for real right now? Okay, yes, I want a talking lightsaber like Forky.
I thought you meant.
Oh my God.
I can't.
So at the very first Galactic
so
Nights we
stupid.
went to for
I totally heard you wrong.
The Galactic Nights we went to for the Last Jedi. A big portion of the panel
That
was
was 2
okay.
years ago.
Yeah, a big portion of the panel was essentially that the lightsabers were going to be like in Hogsmeade and Diagon Alley, where you could interact throughout the land with them. Remember?
Uh-huh.
And now that's kind of just dropped off. And do you think, like, I could understand a $200 price point if I can bring it back every time and do all these cool, one-of-a-kind things in the land that I can do because I have a lightsaber.
But what interactive elements in the light? Like, I think it would be cool if the lightsaber itself was a mechanism to let you use the Force around Galaxy's Edge. Like there's like an RFID chip in the lightsaber that reads something, and as you step up, you can like reach your hand out.
That's what I just said. Like, I wanted it to be interactive in the land.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that would be cool if that was in the lightsaber. But I don't know what past that you would do that would make the lightsaber special enough to.
They said
interactive.
at that panel, they were like, you were going to see the beam in the sky. Like, they were all. Because remember, the guy hosting it was like, I've never seen a real lightsaber.
That was at Celebration.
No, that was at the Indiana Jones stage. I don't know.
No, that was the guy that came out on stage and said, I've seen a real lightsaber. You don't understand what that was at Celebration 100%. It was
regardless of where it was, that kind of got pushed under the mat. I don't know what happened with that.
It was probably too expensive to do.
Even the patents were out at one point.
Yeah. the
which
fog
is all
emitter
public
and
information.
yeah, the fog emitter stuff that was shown.
So do
I
you
don't
think
know.
they made these fancy lightsabers with thinking they were going to do that, and now it's just like, oh well, let's see how these $200 lightsabers can't do anything with it.
I don't know. I feel like it's dumb to spend $200 on a plastic lightsaber.
They look like the ones you could build now, aside from the
blade,
the unique kyber crystal, yeah.
and the blade.
But the droid,
Well, even like some of the old lightsabers, like there were kyber crystals in there. It was just like a hidden thing
Yeah.
you didn't know about.
but the droids they say could interact with other droids, and they interact throughout the land. Like
Yeah.
for $100, that's not bad.
No.
That will be coming home with us.
Yeah, the 100%. I will do one of the lightsabers eventually. It's just not something I'm going to rush to do.
No, and
And
you're
people
gonna
are
have
like,
to
you're
make a
paying for the
reservation.
experience. It's like, how cool is that experience going to be?
Right, you have to reserve it. It's
Now, that being said, Dallin said he's going to buy 2 of them. So I might be able to go do the experience and have someone else pay for the light. I'm not going to keep the lightsaber, obviously, but like have someone else pay for the experience, and I get to go and experience it and do it. That'd be fun.
I don't understand how you're doing Star Wars Land, to sound naive, Star Wars Land without having interactive lightsabers when Harry Potter has his equivalent of interactive wands.
They keep going like back to the Disney Play app. That's not enough. I mean,
I mean, you're decoding things in Arabic through your app.
That's
by scanning
cool.
It. Yeah, that's cool, but that's my phone. I mean, I can do that in Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
I just don't.
I don't know. I think
Maybe it's just not done. That could very well
be. I think too, it might be something they just roll out later. Like they're gonna be like, it's gonna be too crowded. It's not gonna work. We're gonna have to get
That
this.
could be a big part of it. Because Harry Potter, we have a wand, and but these big fans we are of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But we have a wand, and half the time you can't get near the stations. And truth be told, they're just like Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom. It's just RFID.
Yeah,
la,
but you
la,
have to remember those are different because you have to like do the wand a certain way for it
Yeah.
to work. There's like a learning curve with those stupid
Yeah.
things, which I didn't
We
understand.
struggled. That must have been funny for people to watch us.
I was like,
Diagon
how do
Alley
they
one
work?
day.
And I'm like, slap, like going, it's not working. They're like, you have to do the thing.
And then some little kid comes up and she has no problem.
Expecto Patronum. I'm like, shut up, you stupid
We're
robe.
trying, Harry.
I think it's cool too that we watched one video on Galaxy's Edge, somebody who went to a cast member preview, and there's still merchandise that we hadn't seen yet, which I thought was cool because I feel like I've seen everything, and I know that's dumb, but there's even like a gift shop that they show on the map that I hadn't heard before, Jewels of Bith,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. I don't know what that's gonna be.
There was a mug that looked like,
It's
he
made
said
out
it
of
a good
bone.
way. It looked like it was handmade.
Yeah.
And like the top of the handle was the falcon, but the cityscape was the actual mug.
It looked like it was carved out of like bone. It looked really
but it
cool.
was $30.
Yeah, but it looks cool. I have no problem spending money on merchandise that's unique. But like, I'm not spending $50 on like a Galaxy's Edge T-shirt that just has the Galaxy's Edge logo.
No,
on
and
it.
the button down, which looked nice.
Actually,
was
that's not
60,
true.
And that's
not
I
true.
don't
I
think,
still have. I actually do have just a plain Galaxy's Edge logo shirt.
I don't think $60 for a button down is anything outrageous for Disney.
No, and that's what it was for at
How
Celebration.
expensive? Excuse me. Do we know how expensive the food is?
No, I haven't seen. The blue milk's $8.
That's a little excessive.
Do you think
That's
that
gonna
those?
be hard sell in the Florida summer.
Yeah, right. I heard that the legacy lightsabers from Doc Ondar's are $200 each, but I want that case that they're in.
Do you think it's $200 because it's not? It's just this is what you get. It's not. You're not getting the experience.
Maybe, but that seems very. That seems
doesn't
cheap.
seem expensive considering the black. What is it? Black series.
Black Series are $150, which I guess is the same thing. They're charging $50 more for something they can do for $50, but
Yep.
for $50 less. I don't know. If it comes in that case, I'm 100% buying one of them. That case is so sick.
Yeah, this will be a good trip for you to see what you want to get come August, and then we'll go shop.
The
Give us some time to save up.
one thing I do want to do is I want to get the Sabacc game because I wanted to get the game when it came out from like Mattel or Parker Bros or whoever's doing the game, but it had like their logo on it. This doesn't have that, and it looks way cooler.
How do you feel about like the bust they're doing of characters?
It's not for me.
It's very strange. I mean, are these supposed to be like iconic Star Wars universe legends
Yes.
that people are gonna want to?
That's what they said about the Toydarian toy store.
Is
was
she like buying a Lucille Ball bust? Is buying a Leia bust?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
yeah, they're like she's a high-ranking
She's
resistance
a celebrity in the.
Yeah. Darth Maul was, I mean, he's a little less famous, but it's one of those things that, like, people, if there was an R5 bust, I really want to get that steampunk looking IG-88. There's so much cool
I'm
stuff.
curious how much all that metal because it looks like it's by hand.
I'm very curious if they have these still at the Toydarian toy store. I want that freaking AT-AT badly.
That was the thing we saw like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was the first piece of merchandise they showed. Remember, and then like
Yeah.
in-universe merchandise that was at the Galactic Knights event.
Yep.
And I haven't mentioned it since. I haven't seen anything of it since, but I'm very curious. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'm curious in. I'm just ready to be there. Like this has been something I have been looking forward to. It's my most anticipated Star Wars thing of all time. I'm very, very excited. Got a great group of people I'm going with. It's going to be a freaking blast. I can't wait. I'm ready for it to get here. We're 4 days away. By the time you hear this, it'll be 3 days away.
Yep.
Gotta make it from
Almost
Monday to
there.
Wednesday, and I'm
Just
there.
gotta work 3 more days.
It's be so hard.
I will be at home.
I hate you. Anything else? Anything else Star Wars related?
No, I just can't wait to hear when you get back. I'm just so sad I will not be able to see your first reaction. I will not be there.
I think I'm not going to get to see everything. So you're going to get my first reaction to something. Like, there's no
resistance.
That's for sure. I'm not writing that without you. There are. I know there's a few things I'm not going to be able to get to see. I'm probably not going to get to see half of what I want to see. Like in my ideal world, if I could go get a drink at Oga's Cantina, ride the Falcon ride, go into both of those restaurants and just see them,
Yeah.
and then walk through the bazaar.
I mean, if these people have
Deal.
the cast previews, which are going to be way lower attendance than these reservations, they can't do everything. Like that says something.
Yeah.
People are saying the land is a lot larger than they thought, which is exciting because after Toy Story Land, I love Toy Story Land, but it feels so small.
But here's the reason:
Because so much of it is show
so
building.
much of it is not even the show building. It's just the track for Slinky Dog.
Yeah.
Think about how much area that takes over. Pandora is the same way. Like there's so much of that land that's just like.
Pandora feels bigger than Toy Story Land.
Not to me, really.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
I don't feel like it feels bigger at all. To me, Pandora feels like a dead end. Like you walk back, you look to the right, and it's like there it is, and then you. I like Pandora. It's fun to go explore, but there's so much of this just like trees that you can't do anything with. Like
Yeah.
it looks like they used the space well for Galaxy's Edge.
It looks like a lot more walking space, which makes me happy.
So
We like going through physical spaces.
yeah, me too.
As we like.
We
to
talked
say.
we talked about that all the time. Oga Cantina for you, number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the restaurants, checking them out,
Yep.
and then the Falcon.
No, then I would go shopping. Falcon would be last because
Really?
I'd be like, okay, I have an hour left. They'll let me hop in line now.
Do you think they'll do that? You think they'll close the line off early?
They said they closed the Cantina line. Remember?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's gonna be tough. I'm very curious to see how many people they let in at a time.
The biggest thing is if you can get that drink really fast. If you can get that fast, I think it'll be smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Because by that point, in theory, we know this didn't work with Woody's, but in theory, mobile orders should be going for.
For the other stuff.
Yes.
Are they doing mobile
Remember
order
Woody's? They did it like the starting of the opening day, and then they were like, "Nope, no more."
Yeah, they got overwhelmed. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm very curious about all this. I'm gonna do Max Pass while I'm there. Both days, I think, or at least because their rumors are that the 30th is where they're
Not
gonna.
gonna help at Star Wars, but
No, but for pictures. The people they said
or
that
they're taking pictures.
they said there was a photo pass person taking pictures in front of the Falcon. Remember, and the cast members wouldn't get their pictures until the 30th.
Does Max Pass
31st?
only work for ride photos? I thought.
I don't know. I need to look into it. I thought it was all photo. I thought it was all your photos for the day.
I thought it was only ride
I'll check.
photos,
We'll check and see.
Like it is here.
What?
Well, no, I guess Memory Maker is.
Memory
for
Maker is everything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else we need to talk about. I'm curious to see what Jules of Bith is.
What
Just-
is? Do you think
so-
that's going to be the metal work?
Oh, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Jewelry.
I'm not that intrigued with the food of Docking Bay 7, but the concept art looked really, really cool. Which I still don't understand, especially after coming back from Star Wars Celebration. All those announcements they made like the week before, they should have just saved that for the panel.
Yeah.
That would have been one of like the most dope panels ever if they'd have just dropped all that information there instead of being like
Hey, how
their
long?
big announcement was the Coke deal.
How long before that food changes?
2 weeks.
Yeah. I mean, they couldn't even keep a dang Monte Cristo here because it was too different. There were too many. They got rid of it because people were making too many modifications. That's what the cast members told us.
Yep. So dumb. Boycotting that place still.
Yeah. Disneyland has Monte Cristo as one of their biggest.
In 2 places.
Yeah. Very strange.
So I'm just patiently waiting. If I didn't have to work this week, it would just be so much quicker. It would just be here.
You think so?
God,
I feel like the
yes.
days would just be like, la, la,
No, because then I could
la.
do other things and like not go to work and see people like Galaxy's Edge hats and be like,
We could just go hang out at studios.
yeah, just sit by
Like every other day.
God, yes. We don't do that enough. All right, let's do some listener questions. We got a bunch. Let's see. First up, there's some silly ones, of course. We'll get the silly ones first.
Okay.
Disney Dole Whip to be changed to Old Ben Kenobi Whip. Discuss. I like it.
Oh, I like
I also
that.
would like a restaurant inside of Galaxy's Edge called Uncle Owen's Barbecue. Wah, wah, wah. This one comes from our buddy Wesley at 365 Days of Disney. Who's the coolest tall bearded Disney guy who's taken you into the Epcot DVC lounge?
Can't quite remember his
I don't
name.
remember his name. He was a dork though.
Yeah.
What is the quickest interaction you've ever had with a follower in real life, and why is it me? Actually, I do have an answer to that one. There was one time I was walking across the bridge into Adventureland, and someone was like, "Brad, you look good in that shirt."
I remember that.
And I was like, I pointed out, I was like, "Thanks, bro," and I just kept walking. I don't know who it was to this day. It was very strange. But thank you. I do like that shirt.
You either have people come up to you that want to like just chat your ear off, which
I
we
don't
don't
mind.
mind at all, or you have people that are just like, I saw you. And
Or like they'll tweet at me like, "I just saw you walking out." That was actually
Say
one
hi.
of the. Yeah, say hey to me. Don't be weird.
we don't bite.
Who is your favorite and why is it me? Because you're just so pretty. That was from Sam Zimmerman at Reverend_Freako. You know Sam. He was the one that was at the Walt's Frozen Head premiere.
Yes, indeed.
Good guy. This one comes from Paul Lowridge. At Paul Lowridge. What are the most difficult attraction cast member jobs? Well, I don't know. I've never been an attractions cast member, but if I had to guess, what do you think would be the roughest one? Oh, I have my answer.
What?
Loading It's a Small World. Because you're on that little bridge that goes over It's a Small World, and it's just that same music loop all day. And I love It's a Small World. I'm one of the people who genuinely love It's a Small World.
That's why cast members rotate Fantasyland.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Many moons ago, I was a cast member, and you'd be trained on one attraction. I was never in attraction. But yeah, that's why they now rotate through Fantasyland.
Interesting.
True story.
God, that sounds like I love that ride, and I love that music, but I just, that would be a tough one. What do you think the toughest job is? Probably guest relations is tough.
It's not that tough.
That's not attractions though. Attractions would be
I did that life. Guest relations was more entertaining.
anything where it's the
stories.
same thing over and over.
I feel like
over.
anything that's a new ride because like Frozen, the second that goes down, I'm sure you have people just
Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
I would imagine too. This one's something I just thought about because we wrote it the other day. Peter Pan's Flight. That cast member has to group the families on 3, like the 1, 2, 3 each time.
Yeah.
That would be annoying because you'd be like, get on the one. You gotta say get on the one. Like that would be annoying. I don't know. Attraction just seems so hard. Slinky Dog Dash.
Test track when they have to group them. That seems like a pain before the pre-show.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of lines.
Oh God. What else? Let's see what studios. What would
Flights
studios
of
be?
Passage is probably a doozy.
Oh my God, yes.
I had a fast pass. No, ma'am, you had Primeval World. No, I didn't.
I'll show you. Oh, I do have Primeval World. Yeah, you do. This is a good question from Mary the Disney Mermaid at Mary the Disney M1. And it says, using existing or possible technology, what kind of e-ticket would you build? I'd love to hear the specifics of scenes and pre-show and the like. Oh, man. This might warrant its own episode.
I want a Tangled ride. I know we've talked about this
Talked
before.
about this one a bunch. It was one of the ones I was leaning on too as well. I think it would be really cool to do a Darkwing Duck right now. I'm just kidding.
Of course.
I don't. Oh, I have an answer. I have an answer.
What?
It is taking the Tron Light Cycle Run bikes and dividing them into sets of 4. So
Okay.
a lead and then one next to you and then behind you. And you could theme this. It wouldn't fit on Galaxy's Edge, but it would fit in, like, if you replace Star Tours with that aesthetic. And it's a speeder bike chase through the forest moon of Endor. And it's really highly themed, and like
Sounds right up your alley.
It would be a roller coaster, but you'd have to find a way to disguise the track underneath you. But like a really high speed, zippy thing where you could like interact with the attraction itself. That'd be really cool. Pre-show would just be like a more elaborate version of what's already there for Star Tours.
Like replacing Star Tours with that.
Yeah, I would do that.
I like it.
I want to do this that's my answer for right now, but I want to.
That's what I want to think on.
Yeah, I want to bring up. I'm gonna do a whole episode on this. The next episode after the Galaxy's Edge episode will be us, but we're going to bring 3 to the table.
Okay.
So you start thinking. I'm not going to discuss what our 3 are, but I don't know, man. I just can't stop thinking about Galaxy's Edge. I literally have dreams about it every night. Like last night.
Excited?
Very excited. Not at all.
You don't seem it at all.
Not at all. Last night I literally had a dream. You remember this because you worked at Fantasyland during this time. Do you remember when Seven Dwarfs Mine Train was being opened, and you could have like the little look port and to see like the progress of the attraction? I had a dream that we were doing that at Hollywood Studios, looking at Galaxy's Edge, but like they had themed it to look like a TIE fighter window.
You know,
and I have a dream every night, so Star Wars related, because I'm just that excited. I know it sounds so stupid for people who aren't Star Wars fans, but like I'm just that excited about this. I've waited my entire life for Star Wars Land.
Do you know what I'm glad they don't have outside of Galaxy's Edge?
What?
I don't think you ever were here during this time, but I worked at Epcot Guest Relations during the time of the test track swap, and they had a quartet out front singing.
Oh, I remember hearing about
thinking
this.
that would suffice for people that came to Epcot to ride
the
test
attraction's
tracks.
Closed. We'll
And
see
people would
you
come
in
into
a
that
few
lobby
years.
livid, like understandably so. I get it. I mean, we came here for this, and you have people singing in doctor's coats. Like, what?
Oh my god, that's horrible.
It was awful.
What if it was just like the Cantina band came out and they're like,
Yeah. Imagine
Galaxy's Edge ain't open.
Imagine that like on Grand Avenue.
Come back in a few years and
Nope.
come back when it's open. You can't go in because we are closed.
Yep. Just imagine that, or just stormtroopers just wandering up and down Grand Avenue.
That's kind of what they did now with Launch Bay. They just like put some
Yeah.
stormtroopers out there.
Yeah.
The vlog from this is going to be amazing.
I can't wait to see.
I can't wait.
I love
All right,
Disneyland.
friends. I'm going to go dream about Galaxy's Edge. Holly, where can the people find you on the internet?
Well, please only if you're kind. Hollywood 13 with 3 L's.
The internet's not kind. It's not a place
Lately,
for...
people have not been kind. But yes, Hollywood 13 with 3 L's.
You did like a Kermit, not my business sip. Oh,
You know
my
who
God.
you are.
Oh, Jesus. I'm editing that out. We don't need that. Go ahead. You never know. Go ahead.
That's it. Hollywood 13 with 3 L's on Instagram and Twitter. It's a lot of pictures of my dog and Brad and I.
Do you like pictures of
And
dogs?
food.
Boy, do I have an Instagram account for you. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I guess. I don't really do much on Instagram. At Views with Hughes. And you can check out the podcast that you're listening to on Stitcher, iTunes, youtube.com/The Daily Disney Blog. Once I hit 1,000 followers, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I can change the name.
You're so
please go. And it's because I'm so tired of everything being
like 250 more.
the Daily Disney. But it's all the Daily Disney Blog, and it just drives me crazy because it's like not that anymore, and it's confusing.
Wait, you can't change the name?
No, you have 1,000 followers. That's why I haven't changed it.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, YouTube.
Yeah, you have a special URL that you can only change after you hit it. You can set it once, but then you can't change it again until after you have 1,000
Like
followers.
an established page.
Which is fine. But big announcement soon, guys. It's going to be very interesting. I'm very curious to see how this goes. And it's a big deal, especially for me. Not like a big deal like for me in the sense of like, I don't know.
He's pregnant.
I'm pregnant. No, it's just like a milestone. It's something that I never thought would ever happen.
It's kind of
And-
come full circle.
Yeah, and it's very cool.
Yes.
It in a strange way validates
I'm very
everything
proud.
I've been doing.
Very proud of you.
Thank you. It in a strange way validates everything I've been doing over the past few years with the podcast and tweeting and being a jerk.
Hopefully. We'll find out at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it also could not happen, and this could just be in
It'd be
vain.
a terrible call.
People going like, "What were you talking about at the end of your last episode?" Shut
Don't
up!
ask.
Don't bring it up. I think it'll be a good thing. All right, we'll see you guys on the next show. The next show, I will be recording live inside Galaxy's Edge. So
Oh, snap.
it'll be no time for you, but it'll be 3 grueling days for me. Actually, I think we're going to me and Dally are going to do a podcast before Galaxy's Edge. Talk about expectations and that kind of thing. By the way, I want to talk about that before we do it, because before I do it with Dallin, before we wrap this up, I just want to be very clear. I have the highest expectations for this land. Like, if I had high expectations for Pandora and it let me down, just being completely honest with you, when I first reported on the podcast, I was like, it's fine, it's cool. I thought they were just going to be tweaking some small things, and they never did. And that was just how the land was, and that bummed me out.
They tweaked the paint.
Yeah, like a year later.
Yeah, we haven't been back, to be honest. We don't.
I have the highest expectations for this. They have been, and at a certain point, it's Disney's fault for me having these high expectations, because they've been the ones going, "This is the most immersive land we've ever done, most
Hyping it
ambitious,
up, yeah.
most crazy thing. You've never seen anything like this before in a Disney theme park. It is state of the art. Nothing like this exists anywhere on the planet."
People are saying they're right, though. People are saying...
But I also have theme park expectations with it being Disney, Star Wars expectations, because I want it to feel right. There's 2 levels of fandom going into this. As a theme park / Disney fan,
It's like your 2 loves coming together.
it is, and a Star Wars fan, it's gonna be hard to blow me away, and I really hope they do it. And from everything I've seen already, it looks like they have. But until I'm there, I'm not gonna be able to say.
I'm sensing tears. I think you're going to cry walking
I hope so.
in.
Once I see
really
that Falcon's gonna hit, I'm just gonna be like, it's real. I can't wait.
You freaked out when you saw it from Slinky Dog. Like you saw the little
Cockpit.
cockpit. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah. It's
Then
gonna
we
be
rode
great.
Slinky 3 more times that day. True story.
True story. All right, friends. God, I just want to keep talking about it. I know I've been annoying you.
Nah.
That's not true. You
It's
can say
more
yes.
so. It's more so painful that I'm not going to get to see it right now.
I wish you could come.
It'll be an interesting perspective for people in August when they hear you, like the diehard Star Wars fan, and then me, the casual Star Wars fan. Because for both of us, we're casual Harry Potter fan. I would be more Star Wars than Harry Potter for sure. And we love Harry Potter, so I expect to really love Galaxy's Edge.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Plus, I get to ride the Incredicoaster. What a world we live in.
You got a lot to squeeze. You're squeezing a lot into a very small amount of time.
Well, I have the benefit of being 3 hours ahead. So when I get there, like, it'll only be 11 o'clock.
by
So by the time I get to
it'll
Disneyland,
probably
it'll be
be like
1:30. I can drop myself off at Disney Hotel, then run straight over to Disneyland, cram Hyperspace Mountain, all stuff I'm not going to want to do.
Wonder how late the park's open.
Oh my God, they're probably open until like midnight, right?
Let's see.
All right, that's it for this show. We'll see you guys on the next one live from inside Disneyland or Galaxy's Edge or both. And we'll see you guys on the next show. May the Force be with you. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Park Views with Brad Hughes. Thank you for downloading. I will see you guys next time. But before we leave, don't forget, follow me on Twitter and Periscope and Instagram at Views with Hughes, and rate and review the show on iTunes and Stitcher. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.